Shalom. I'll start by giving all the praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushai Ba'ashem Rachakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of the great millstone who rule well, and as always, peace and salutations to all the fellow laborers of the hopefully like tabernacle of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And prophecy is definitely popping off. We definitely in the year to turn up, and as it is written, pursuing the Habakkuk, the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. And right now, as an update to what's happening regarding Russia and Ukraine, we can definitely point out that Ezekiel 38 is beginning to speak. The Lord basically said concerning Gog and Magog, which is Russia, that I would turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws and bring thee forth in all thine armies, with all their military, their equipment. And the Lord's been preparing them for war against the West, because it's prophesied that the beast is going to go head up with the bear, which is Magog. You can read that in Revelation, the 20th chapter. So what I want to do is I just want to play this little clip right here. This is from France 24 English, and then also I want to play a excerpt from the speech that Putin actually had moments after he signed the agreement to recognize this region in Ukraine as being independent. All right, he had the Security Council, and he signed off on the recognition of the independence of the DPR and the LPR. All right, and he said some interesting things. So let me play this report first, and then we're gonna go into the other clip. All right, hey, wars and rumors of wars, man. We're seeing it, man. There should be wars and rumors of wars, but we know that the end is not immediate. That means that the chip is that much more closer. So let's listen up.
Missile tests, tanks amassing along the border, some 150,000 troops deployed. Vladimir Putin is challenging his Ukrainian counterpart Volodymyr Zelensky and Western leaders. But why? Putin's major fear is that Russia's next-door neighbour joins the gang opposite, a military alliance regrouping 30 Western countries known as NATO. For Putin, it's a red line, a threat to Russian sovereignty.
Imagine that Ukraine joined NATO and started military operations in Crimea, for example. What would we do? Declare war on NATO? Has anyone thought of that? It doesn't seem so.
But Russia's interference in other countries' affairs goes further. It's been dipping its toes in Africa, mobilizing the mercenary group Wagner in Libya, Mali, and the Central African Republic.
And real quick, let me pause it, because this is them showing how Russia has political and economic ties with these northern African countries. Now, we're showing Ezekiel 38, showing you that prophecy is true. Let's go there real quick. At Ezekiel 38, and verse 4 says, "And I will turn thee back." You already know, who this is prophesying of. This is talking about Russia, Gog and Magog. I'm going to just go straight to the point. Verse 4 says, "And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords." All right, ready for war. Persia, which is Iran, Ethiopia, Cush, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. And they pretty much pointed that out, that Russia has ties to them, because according to the prophecy, they're going to be a guard unto those nations. It says Gomer and all his bands, that's Turkey. And then right below Turkey is Syria. They have interests in a alliance, a relationship with Syria. So that whole region, Russia is a guard over. And that's why NATO is trying to push the line with Russia because, the beast wants to keep their primacy, over the old world, the Western world, okay? Over the Middle East, Africa, and even trying to broaden it over to, China's backyard. They're trying to take Taiwan. And the scriptures tell you that in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, that he enlarged desire as hell, and it can never be satisfied. He can never have enough. He's neither a keeper at home. And that's where the stir up, that's why there's always stir up. Anywhere where he's trying to intermeddle and trying to destabilize is conflict and war or disturbance, turbulence. Right. So the Lord is putting that thought into Putin. Like it says in the title, he's trying to revive the Soviet-sized ambitions in Europe. Man, and he wants the old Soviet Union back, man. So all the different moves that he's making on a chessboard, it's all designed to try to, restructure. All right. And this threatens the primacy of the West. So I'm going to continue on. It says, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Tergama of the north quarters, and all his bands and many people with thee. Be thou prepared and prepare thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So let's go back to the report.
In the Middle East, meanwhile, Russia is allied with the Syrian regime. In exchange, it's been allowed to build air and naval military bases on the edge of the Mediterranean.
It's one of Putin's biggest ambitions, to re-establish Russia in a global position of power, in keeping with its status as a permanent member of the Security Council.
So how to reel him in? The West's preferred deterrent, economic sanctions, hasn't always proven effective.
If sanctions don't produce results quickly, we'll start to see them being circumvented. So in plain language, if the oligarchs aren't able to put their money in the city in London, they'll go elsewhere, like the Shanghai Stock Exchange.
Other options include halting construction of this gas pipeline with Russia or banning the country from the international banking system, though that would have knock-on effects on the entire global economy.
And that's what it is. The West is trying to prevent Russia from, skyrocketing into the next major economic powerhouse by, doing all these deals with Europe. They got the Nord Stream pipeline, or the Nord Stream 2 pipeline that goes through, I believe, was it the Black Sea, if I'm not mistaken, and it basically goes through there right over into Germany. And that's why Germany don't really want, beef like that, because they get that cheap supply of gas, easily, through that pipeline. If they're to open it and start doing business, Europe will be able to, get they gas, cheap, So you see what the West is doing. They ain't feeling that. So, and there's many other reasons, but there's the economic aspect of it. They want to close out that Nord Stream pipeline between Russia and Germany. All right. Now let's go here real quick. Hold up.
In recent months, Western weapons are sent to Ukraine ceaselessly in front of the eyes of the entire world. The activities of the Ukrainian army is governed by the foreign consultants, and we are well aware of that. Last year, under the pretext of the war games, the military contingents of the NATO countries were deployed in Ukraine. The the Ukrainian army is already integrated into NATO. It means that Ukrainian army units can be done directly from the NATO headquarters. The West started to explore the territory of Ukraine as the future theater of military action, as the future battlefield, and it is aimed against Russia.
So he sees the threat that they can, utilize a army unit for themselves and have them at any given time, they can attack, man, and be that much more closer to their borders, to their land. You see? So you see why he's concerned for their national security. So real quick, I want to go down to this comment that I saw in the comment section. And this individual broke it down beautifully, man. Let me go down. Yeah, right here. Now, it looked like a Jake right there. But it was a pretty lengthy comment, but he pretty much breaks it all down. The real head Turner. And he says, the Ukrainian crisis has nothing to do with Ukraine. It's about Germany, and in particular, a pipeline that connects Germany to Russia called Nord Stream 2. As I mentioned, Washington sees the pipeline as a threat to its primacy in Europe and has tried to sabotage the project at every turn. Even so, Nord Stream has pushed ahead and is now fully operational and ready to go. Once German regulators provide the final certification, the gas deliveries will begin. German homeowners and businesses will have a reliable source of clean and inexpensive energy, while Russia will see a significant boost of their gas revenues. It's a win-win situation for both parties. But the great whore that rides the beast, she's too self-centered. She believes in, unilateralism. So she's gonna make decisions for the whole alliance based on her own, self-interest. And that's why you're gonna start to see, the buildup of dissension between some of the members of the alliance versus the whore. That's why it says in the prophecy, Revelation 17, and the beast shall hate the whore. They're gonna get sick and tired of the bullshit, right? It says the U.S. foreign policy establishment is not happy about these developments. They don't want Germany to become more dependent on Russian gas because commerce builds trust, and trust leads to an expansion of trade. Yep. As relations grow warmer, more trade barriers are lifted, regulations are eased, travel and tourism increase, and a new security architecture evolves. In a world where Germany and Russia are friends and trading partners, there is no need for U.S. military bases. Exactly. What's the point? Why are you trying to set up shop and put your guns and your tanks and your missiles over there when there's peace over there? There's nothing but trade and diplomacy, right? No need for expensive U.S. made weapons and missile systems, and no need for NATO. There's also no need to transact energy deals in U.S. dollars or to stockpile U.S. treasuries to balance accounts. Transactions between business partners can be conducted in their own currencies, which is bound to precipitate a sharp decline in the value of the dollar. This Jake is on point, man. He knows exactly what he's talking about. All these different moves that's happening, that dollar's getting ready to meet its demise, man. All right. And people that's in the know are preparing for it. All right, you average Americans, y'all don't know what the hell is going on. It says in a dramatic shift in economic power, and that's what the West is trying to prevent. You see, with the rise of Russia and China. This is why the Biden administration opposes Nord Stream. It's not just a pipeline, it's a window into the future, a future in which Europe and Asia are drawn closer together into a massive free trade zone that increases their mutual power and prosperity while leaving the U.S. on the outside looking in. You know, and it says that in Obadiah. Let me go there real quick, because that's what's going to be the cause of the buildup leading to this war. You know, there's a lot of backdoor deals and alliances and all type of stuff going on, and it's going to cause dissension. Obadiah 1:7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. I mean, all your alliance, right, has caused you to build up at the border. The men that were at peace with thee, your allies, have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in them. All right, let me read this in the NLT translation, and it says, all your allies will turn against you. They will help to chase you from your land. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. Your trusted friends will set traps for you, and you will not even know about it. All right. So the Lord is setting you up, and hey, Esau is divided. A king divided against itself cannot stand. This is all going to lead to the demise of Esau's empire, the world of Esau. And the Most High is the one who's, moving the pieces on the chessboard. That the hearts of the kings are in the hands of the Most High. All right, and he moves it however he wills. So let's go back and finish that comment, because this is a very on point comment here, man. It says, I think I read this part. It says, warmer relations between Germany and Russia signal an end to the unipolar world order the U.S. has overseen for the last 75 years. A German-Russo alliance threatens to hasten the decline of the superpower that is presently inching closer to the abyss. This is why Washington is determined to do everything it can to sabotage Nord Stream and keep Germany within its orbit. It's a matter of survival. And I'll read a little more. I'm not going to read the whole thing. He says, that's where Ukraine comes into the picture. Ukraine is Washington's weapon of choice for torpedoing Nord Stream and putting a wedge between Germany and Russia. Got to cut business between them, because it's gonna, elevate, the economy of Russia and the peace between, these NATO countries and Russia. But them NATO countries are divided on Russia, showing you that prophecy is speaking. Daniel, the 7th chapter. Okay, that they're going to be partially divided. It says the strategy is taken from page 1 of the U.S. Foreign Policy Handbook under the rubric "Divide and Rule." That's the modus operandi of E. He loves to divide and conquer, man. All right. It says Washington needs to create the perception that Russia poses a security threat to Europe. This is the same tactic they did, with the Koreas, North Korea, South Korea, is what they're trying to do with Taiwan and China. What Britain tried to do or did do between India and China. This is what Esau does, man. Neither keeper at home. Okay. Matter of fact, let me go to that. Let's go to Habakkuk 2. He's good at disquieting people that be at peace, all for his benefit. Habakkuk 2 verse 5, it says, "Yet also he transgresseth by wine. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death." He's a great causer of death and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. And he wants that kind of control. He wants to control the whole planet. All right. And when you look up that word for keep, neither keep at home, the word is nawach. right? And it says down here, because it says to dwell, abide, keep at home, rest. You go down here, it says to sit down, rest. He is a proud man and does not rest, but seeks disturbances and wars. And because he has the power to do so, because in his hand is what? The sword. All right, in his hand was a sword to take away peace from the earth. That red horse, spoken of in Revelation 6 and 4. All right. So you get in the way of his business, he's coming with that sword. He's gonna cause, a proxy or whatever. He's gonna cause chaos, disturbance. He's gonna arm people, fund them, and put guns in their hands. Rebels, rebel groups, and cause all type of tumults. All right, so let's go back, and it says, it says that's the goal. They need to show that Putin is a bloodthirsty aggressor with a hair-trigger temper who cannot be trusted. And you see Western media, the propaganda machine, they've been going nuts, man. They've been going crazy, trying to make it seem like he's the full-on aggressor when he's actually just trying to defend his stance. He's trying to defend the security of his country, even though eventually him and his country gonna be obliterated because the Lord is gonna come back and he's gonna put a foot in Magog's ass, and all these nations are gonna bow down, man. Because these nations really think they got next, man. Russia, China. All right, the true Israelites got next, man. The Lord is just gathering you over there in that land and causing this friction because he wants to put you there so he can destroy you all, man. He's assembling you over there to plead with you for his people. So anyway, continuing on, it says, to that end, the media has been given the assignment of reiteration over and over again. Russia is planning to invade Ukraine. Yeah, they'll say any day now, Russia is going to invade. On this, but they're giving dates and shit. How you going to give dates? Since when do the enemy tell you exactly when and where they're going to attack? That it doesn't work like that. All right, Putin is a mastermind. He ain't moving like that. So it's clearly just Western propaganda. It says what's left unsaid is that Russia has not invaded any country since the dissolution of the Soviet Union, and that the U.S. has invaded or toppled regimes in more than 50 countries in the same period of time. That's why the scriptures refer to this place as the hammer of the earth. The hammer of the earth. The biggest aggressor, man. Then drop the only nation that then dropped actual atomic bombs on countries. All right, it says, and that the U.S. maintains over 800 military bases in countries around the world. None of this is reported by the media. Instead, the focus is on evil Putin, who has amassed an estimated 100,000 troops along the Ukrainian border, threatening to plunge all of Europe into another bloody war. All right. So hey, he broke it down, man. This comment was it was very profound. All right, the average American don't have any clue. They all their knowledge is straight from mainstream media, which is all one-sided. All right, so we see what's going on, man. Is the algorithm of war taking place? So let's real quick. Let's get on Matthew 24. And it says, "And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars," meaning reports of wars, threat of wars. "See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." And how we know it's not the end yet is because they still got to push the MOTB. All right. They got to push the MOTB. It's got to, and we know that more chaotic events is going to happen all over the world, over here in Babylon. And Esau, you already see what's happening with Canada. You know, they secretly put UN troops on the soils of Canada, and you got these secret officers that don't have badges and or nothing, not even speaking the Canadian native language over there, you know, setting up shop and regulating. And they showed two UN planes in the land. So you see that Esau is definitely gearing up for something, man. Something major. And you're going to see resistance. You're going to see sedition pursuant to 2nd Ezra 15. You're going to see all that happening. It says, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. And we know all these things have been happening, but it's going to continue to be amplified. More deadlier famines, more deadlier pestilences, diseases, viruses. We don't know what they got in stores or what they're going to try to release next. Because we heard what Baal Gates said. All right. So it's going to happen, man. It says all these are the beginning of sorrows. So this is the reason why we got to stay upon our watch, man. Continue to watch. Scriptures say to let me get that in 1 Peter 4 verse 7. And it says, but the end of all things is at hand. Be therefore sober and watch unto prayer. And that's what's going on, man. So anyway, you know, I just want to go into that, you know, seeing that these things are unfolding, and we see that the end is at hand. So we got to, you know, definitely stay sober, meaning keep a sober mind, keep your eyes open. All right, be aware, be circumspect, and watch unto prayer, man. You know, send these prayers up. You know, pray for the brotherhood. You know, all the believers. You know, pray for mercy. And let's continue to exhort one another, man. So anyway, you know, I'm gonna end off with that, and I'm gonna give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shem Shai. Until the next lesson, Shalom.